3 months ago, she couldn't keep her hands off you, initiating, eager, present, connected. Last week, you tried to kiss her and she turned her head, gave you her cheek instead. Tonight, you're lying in bed next to someone who feels like a stranger, and you're asking yourself the question that's been eating at you for weeks. What changed? Brother, let me tell you something that's going to be hard to hear. When a woman suddenly stops wanting intimacy with you, it's not about stress. It's not about her being tired. It's not about hormones or work or needing space. It's about something that happened in her mind. Something shifted emotionally. And the physical withdrawal you're experiencing right now, that's just the symptom, the evidence, the proof that she's already somewhere else mentally, even if she's still lying next to you physically. I'm Maya, and today I'm breaking down the real psychological reasons why women suddenly stop wanting intimacy, not the excuses she's giving you, the truth she's not saying. Because once you understand what's actually happening, you'll stop blaming yourself and start seeing the pattern clearly. If your gut has been screaming at you that something's wrong, stay with me. This might be the most important video you watch this year. And subscribe to Deeper Truth with Maya, because this channel exists to give you clarity when everyone else is telling you to just give her time. Let's begin. Reason 1, she's already emotionally invested somewhere else. Here's what most men don't understand about female psychology. Women don't separate physical intimacy from emotional connection the way men often do. For most women, physical desire flows from emotional investment. So when a woman suddenly stops wanting intimacy with you, the first question you need to ask isn't, "What's wrong with our sex life?" The question is, where is her emotional energy going? And brother, I'm going to be direct with you. In many cases, it's going to someone else. Not always physically, sometimes it hasn't gotten physical yet, but emotionally, she's already involved. She's texting someone, thinking about someone, fantasizing about someone, getting emotional validation from someone who isn't you. And when a woman's emotional energy is redirected, physical desire for you doesn't just decrease, it often disappears completely, because in her mind, being intimate with you now feels like betrayal to the person she's actually thinking about. I know that sounds backwards. She's the one who's emotionally cheating, but she feels guilty being intimate with you? Yes, that's exactly how it works psychologically. I worked with a man named Kyle who described this perfectly. He said, "Maya, intimacy stopped cold, completely. And when I finally saw her messages, I understood why. She'd been emotionally involved with a coworker for 6 weeks. In her mind, I was the affair. He was the real relationship." Brother, if she's suddenly repulsed by your touch, if intimacy feels impossible for her when it used to be natural, her mind has already left, even if her body is still in your bed. Reason 2, she lost respect for you and desire died with it. Here's a truth that makes men uncomfortable, but you need to hear it. Female desire is deeply connected to respect. When a woman respects you, she desires you. When respect erodes, desire follows. And sometimes the withdrawal of intimacy isn't about another person. It's about how she now sees you. Maybe you've been too available, too eager to please, too willing to sacrifice your boundaries to keep her happy. Maybe you stopped standing firm when she tested you, stopped having opinions that differ from hers, stopped being the man she was attracted to in the beginning. I'm not saying you did anything wrong. I'm saying women are wired to test respect. And when a man fails those tests repeatedly by being too accommodating, too passive, too desperate for approval, something happens psychologically. She stops seeing you as a sexual being. You become safe, comfortable, predictable. And brother, safe doesn't create desire. It creates indifference. If you've been working overtime to make her happy, go ahead and hit that like button because what I'm about to tell you might hurt, but it'll also set you free. The intimacy didn't stop because you weren't doing enough. It stopped because you were doing too much. You became so focused on pleasing her that you stopped being someone she could respect. And without respect, physical attraction dies. Reason 3, she's preparing to leave and intimacy feels like a lie. This one is painful, but it's one of the most common patterns I see. When a woman has mentally decided to leave a relationship but hasn't executed the exit yet, intimacy becomes psychologically impossible for her, not because she's not attracted to you, but because being intimate with you while planning to leave feels dishonest to her own sense of self. Think about it from her perspective. She's already made the decision internally. She's already emotionally checked out. She's already visualizing her life without you. Being intimate now would mean pretending, and even if she's willing to lie with words, her body won't cooperate. So the intimacy stops completely, suddenly, and when you ask about it, she deflects. I'm stressed, I'm tired, I just need time. What she's not saying is, I can't be close to you because I'm already gone. I remember working with a man named Eric. He said, Maya, for 2 months, she wouldn't touch me, wouldn't let me touch her. Every attempt at intimacy was rejected. Then one day she sat me down and said she'd been thinking about leaving for 3 months. 3 months, Maya. I was living with someone who'd already left me mentally. Brother, if the intimacy stopped abruptly and she can't or won't explain why, and everything else feels distant too, she may have already made her decision. She's just waiting for the right moment to tell you. Reason 4, you discovered something and she can't face you. Here's a specific pattern that happens after betrayal or near discovery. You found something, maybe not the full truth, but enough to ask questions, enough to create suspicion. Maybe you saw texts, maybe you noticed behavior changes, maybe you confronted her about something that didn't add up. And even if she denied it, even if she explained it away, something shifted. Now she can't be intimate with you because guilt is sitting between you both like a wall. When a woman knows you suspect something, or when you've discovered part of the truth, intimacy becomes psychologically unbearable for her. Every time you touch her, it reminds her of what she's hiding. Every time you try to be close, she feels exposed. So she withdraws, shuts down, creates distance, not because she doesn't want intimacy in general, but because she can't handle intimacy with you while carrying the weight of deception. One of my clients described it this way. After I found the messages, she deleted them and swore nothing physical happened. But from that day forward, she couldn't stand me touching her. It was like my touch burned her skin. That's when I knew the truth was bigger than what she admitted. Brother, if the intimacy stopped right after you questioned something, right after a confrontation, right after you started noticing inconsistencies, her withdrawal isn't random. It's guilt manifesting physically. Reason 5, she's punishing you for something you don't even know about. This pattern is manipulative, but it's incredibly common. Sometimes women withdraw intimacy as punishment, not because you did something objectively wrong, but because you violated some unspoken expectation. You didn't read her mind. You didn't prioritize what she wanted. You set a boundary she didn't like. You disagreed with her about something important to her. And instead of communicating directly, she punishes you by withdrawing physically. This is passive-aggressive control, brother, and it reveals something critical. She's using intimacy as a weapon. When you comply, you get affection. When you don't, you get coldness. If you're experiencing this, drop the word control in the comments, because this pattern destroys relationships, and you need to see it clearly. The problem with this pattern is that it trains you to perform for affection. You start walking on eggshells, trying to figure out what she wants, apologizing for things you didn't do just to restore intimacy. And that's exactly what she wants, control without accountability. The hard truth you need to accept. Here's what I need you to understand, and this is where most men resist the truth. When a woman suddenly stops wanting intimacy with you, it's not a phase you wait out. It's not a problem you solve by being more romantic, more attentive, more patient. It's a symptom of something that's already broken emotionally, and physical intimacy can't return until the emotional issue is resolved, if it can be resolved at all. You can't nice your way back into her desire. You can't perform your way back into her bed. You can't negotiate attraction. What a self-respecting man does? So, what do you do when you're lying next to someone who doesn't want you anymore? You stop chasing. You stop begging. You stop pretending everything is fine when it clearly isn't. You have one conversation, direct, calm, clear. I've noticed intimacy has stopped completely, and when I ask about it, you deflect. So I'm going to be direct. If you're not attracted to me anymore, if you're invested elsewhere, if you're planning to leave, tell me now, because I'm not going to spend months trying to fix something you've already decided is over. And then, brother, you watch what she does, not what she says, what she does. If she gets defensive, if she makes you the problem, if she refuses to engage honestly, you have your answer. A woman who wants to save the relationship will meet honesty with honesty. A woman who's already gone will meet it with deflection, blame, or silence. Final truth. Listen to me carefully. If she's suddenly stopped wanting intimacy and she won't tell you why, she's already made a decision about you, about the relationship, about her future. And you sitting there hoping it gets better, waiting for her to come around, trying to earn back what you never should have had to earn in the first place, that's not love. That's self-abandonment. You deserve someone who wants you, not someone you have to convince to touch you. Do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to Deeper Truth with Maya, and share this with a man who's been blaming himself for something that was never his fault. Drop the word truth in the comments if this gave you the clarity you needed. I'm Maya, and this channel exists to protect men from wasting years on women who've already emotionally left, because you deserve desire, not duty, passion, not pity, and if she can't give you that, someone else will. Stay aware, stay strong, and remember, when someone shows you they don't want you, believe them the first time.